Emily's Live?
Welcome to Emily is Live with me, Emily Dolan Davies. Come and hang out whilst I share my experiences in the music industry. You can ask me questions live and we can get you one step closer to your professional dreams.
Emily's Live!
Hello. I want to introduce you to the new studio. Studio. I'm so sorry if you're listening back on a podcast because obviously you cannot see what's going on, but I am officially in the new studio. It is emilydrums.com. Oh, let me move forward so I don't smash my desk. Version 2.0, and yes, I'm in. I'm excited. There's so many people here that I just want to say hello to quickly before I carry on. We've had so many people already in and saying hello. We've been having a lovely chat. So Simone is here. Maisel was one of the first people in here, as was Raina. So hi Raina. Sorry, my screen is over here. Brandon's in. Hello Brandon. Jed's in. Chris Pound. We've got Carl Bayliss. We've got, who else? Jim Fox, who is officially the person that is doing the most with Drum Stem Club, I'm pretty sure, and releasing songs every week it seems on Spotify, which is amazing. There are new stems coming. And who else? We've got Fernando Ribeiro Neto is here, Kevin Siegel's here, Graham Wilmot is here. Graham, I need to get back to your quote request. Sorry about that. I was meant to do it today. I ran out of time. I will be back. Jake Perret is in as well. I mean, when I tell you there are so many people in, Ali Barjet is here. I've never said your surname, Ali. I'm so sorry. Ali Barjet. Barjet? I'm sorry, I'm ruining it, aren't I? Charlotte Bibby is in as well. Who else? Literally, Nathan's in. Nathan is here. That's the main thing. Nathan is here, so we can have a chat. So people have had their tea. I've had mine. I had pasta with some chili. It's left over from yesterday, basically. It was really delicious. And actually thinking about it, I've probably got stuff in my teeth, so sorry about that, but it's fine. Who else is here? Makiko is here. Konnichiwa, o genki desu ka? How are you, Makiko? Are you well? It must be very early over in Japan. Am I right? I'm not sure. But anyway, welcome to the new studio. Had I have thought about this more properly, I would have actually had basically I need a really long lead to take this camera around the studio, which I don't have. So I'm sorry, I failed totally. And like I say, if you're listening back on a podcast, not ideal anyway, but you can kind of see what is going on. Let me move this chair. We've got the lovely kit with the lovely cymbals and the lovely mics. And I was thinking, shall I just I'm going to take you off the stand for a second, and then you can see just what we're dealing with. So, there we go. We've got some outboard here. I mean, the computer is here. Talk about meta, looking at yourself. I'm sure that something bad is going to happen. Oh, and then there's like a kitchen out there. It's like a kitchen and a toilet and stuff. But the main thing is, the drums are up and the room sounds amazing. It sounds amazing. And I've done nothing, really. I've done a tiny bit of EQing, but straight away it was like, oh my goodness, because I loved my old studio. I loved it so much. But the way that it was constructed, it was very, very dead. And that was brilliant for a lot of things, but it only gave me one type of sound. Whereas this has it's got a bit of reverb, which is lovely. So there's a bit of like energy to it. And every time I play, I really forgot how incredible it is to have that kind of ambience, I suppose, that reverb, the reflections. It just really adds to the vibe, and the room mics are sounding amazing. Anyway, I'll stop talking about it because it's probably better for me just to actually show you so today I was recording some drum stems for Drum Stem Club. They will be out probably next week, but if you're a part of Drum Stem Club, I'll be sending out an email with them, so you will get to hear them. If you're not a member of Drum Stem Club, basically free drum multi-tracks every week. Go to drumstemclub.com, join up, and then you can hear all the stuff. There's already like 100 different stems on there anyway from the last studio, but this new studio is amazing. As you can tell, I've kind of got my zest back. I was really struggling for a bit there because, you know, I think we all do. We all love our spaces, especially if you're used to having a space to kind of create and stuff. And now I have that back, so I'm back. back. I'm definitely going to run myself into the ground, but it's fine. I'm here with you guys. That's the main thing. So, in all honesty, when I was like, right, I really want to do a live and the new studio and all of that sort of stuff, and I was like, I don't know what I should be talking about. And I had a few ideas running through my head, but I landed on this one because I'm doing a lot of it at the moment. And that is sort of if you know me at all, I'm obsessed with being like productive, and I adore finding the most effective way of doing things. And I've shared a few of these things recently with people, and they've really they've been like, that's amazing, you should tell people about that. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I should. So hold on, let's just check. Oh, I will say the only downside to the studio, sometimes the internet can be a bit iffy. So if this glitches or whatever, you can watch back on playback. So it's all good. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about some ways to be productive, and whether that's, running a remote recording business like this, or whether it's, being a teacher, whether it's just day-to-day stuff. This is the fun stuff. This is what I think is fun, at least. This is the fun stuff about, all these sort of systems, I suppose. It's not a very sexy thing, but it's awesome. So the first thing that I tried to whittle this down to 3, my top 3. I couldn't do it. I tried, and then I was like, but this one's just too good. So I think I'm going to do 4. Maybe I should just do 3. I'm looking at them now. I'm still in this moment thinking, shall I just do 3? Let's start with 3 and see where we get to. Okay, so the first thing, the reason I'm talking about this, because I'm having to redo all this. This is a new system that I have, so I'm having to redo all these systems. Like a new computer and that, so I have to redo all the systems. So I thought I'd just talk through the things that I've been doing, essentially. So the first thing is, and this is starting with the most obvious, I suppose, and that is shortcuts, like on your computer with the programs that you use. So if you're using Logic, or say using Final Cut, or even if it's Mail, if you can work out the shortcuts, like the things that you do every time you use that program. So things like, if it's on Logic, say cutting tracks, like cutting up tracks, putting things into groups, exporting stuff, bouncing stems, there's certain things that we do a lot of over and over and over again. If you can save yourself, 3 clicks of moving the mouse to go to file and then go to da-da-da-da and then do all the stuff. If you can do it in one keystroke, that is going to save you so much time, like over time, if that makes sense. Same as if you're doing emails, if you're having to export to PDF or move things into different folders, like quick shortcuts are like the most amazing thing. The other thing I will say, also, if you're using multiple programs that have multiple, like the same sort of function, so for instance, Logic Pro, if I press Apple T, that will make a cut in the audio. I use it all the time, whenever I'm cutting between takes, I always use that shortcut. I also use Final Cut. In Final Cut, that same shortcut, Apple T, is to add a transition, and to put in a cut you have to go Apple B, which is blade. If you do Apple B in Logic, then that bounces the audio file. So it's too many complications. I have to actually think. I'm not very good at thinking sometimes, especially when I'm tired. So I have just made them the same. So I know that in Final Cut, in Logic, in anything else, if I do Apple T, it will cut it. And that makes me so happy. So something simple like that will just save so much time, so much hassle, and you end up getting quicker and quicker. I think the best place to start is kind of just notice what you're doing a lot in programs, and then just work out what the shortcut is, or create your own. If you go to preferences, you can usually change the shortcuts. So that's the first one. I've been doing that. It's fun. In saying that, I haven't even downloaded Final Cut Pro onto this machine. So I need to do that and sort that out. So that's a note to myself. Another step further from that as well is, rather than just using keyboard shortcuts, because sometimes you can forget and it gets complicated. I got this cool toy. So this is going to seem like I'm selling it or something. I'm not selling it, but I love it. It's called Stream Deck. I probably shouldn't have even told you what it's called. So check it out. This is what it is. Oh, there we go. And you can basically assign different things to this Stream Deck. So this one is hooked up to my OBS, which is what I stream with, right? So we can do fun things like this. amazing! Or if you're listening back and you didn't see what just happened on the screen.
He's not the Messiah, he's a very naughty boy!
I love it! It's so good! But it means I can switch between different scenes and it just makes life a little bit easier and hopefully a little bit nicer for you guys to watch because that's my end goal. So anyway, that's the first thing. So shortcuts, right. I'm still deciding. Okay, the next one that I love, and I've only been doing this one for about, 6 months maybe. It's two-parter, really. This is what I mean. I'm having to whittle these down to my favourite 3, but it's a two-parter. The first one is dictation. So say I'm replying to emails rather than typing it out because I speak fast. I don't know whether you'd noticed, but I do generally speak quite quickly and I certainly can't type as quickly as I speak. So if I turn on dictation on my computer, which you can do on Mac, I don't think it's on by default, so you have to go find it. It's very easy to find. In saying that, I couldn't tell you in this moment where you find it, but what it means is I just click a button and then I can start speaking and then it brings it down to text. The other thing is the reverse of that, I can have my emails read to me.
And not in like a robotic voice, like
in a nice, normal-ish voice. So I can be like, say I'm, miking something up, I can be listening to my emails, I can then be replying to them whilst I'm still doing stuff, which for me, anything that makes me have concurrent activity, I'm just like, I am so all about it, I can't even tell you. So that would be my second one, even though it's kind of a two-parter, but it's really good, I promise. And then the third one, this is my favourite one, and purely because it's so simple, and if you're on a Mac, if you're on an iPhone, if you're on an iPad, this comes as standard, it's no extra software, anything like that. I'm pretty sure you can do it on PCs as well. I wouldn't know because I don't have one, but it's this thing called text replace, and I've actually done. I need to show you this. This is what I need to show you. Okay, so if you're listening back, I've got a text file up, right? So let's say that we're writing an email to someone, and if you've received an email from me recently, you will recognize this beginning. So it will be, hey, I don't know who's in the room. Hey, Ali, how are you? Sorry, I haven't been back to you. I've been really busy in the studio / moving. Now that took me as long as it took me, and obviously I'm sure plenty of spelling mistakes. If I'm batching doing emails, like replying to emails, I might have to write this out like 100 times, right? Alternatively, this is what I do. This is the most recent one that I've used. So if I do AAA, 3 A's, and then space, automatically filled in, hey, I'm so sorry for the late reply on this, currently in studio build heaven/hell. You can see when I was writing these emails, and that's from just typing 3 letters. And let's say whoever I'm replying to, let's say that they watched Count Me In recently and they've said something nice. I can say this, CMI, Count Me In. Thanks so much for your kind words about Count Me In. So glad you enjoyed it. I had an absolute blast being involved and consider myself very lucky amongst such legends. Now, this is all true. All these words are true. It's just when you have to type them a lot, to be able to have a quick way of just accessing them is so good. And let's say someone wants to learn about emilydrums.com. I put in this, there's the address, www.emilydrums.com. Let's say they want a quote. Well, just go to quote. And there we go. I've done /quote and it's automatically brought up the URL, sorry. And it's just the best way of just doing things quickly and effectively. And then past that, you can write whatever we can carry on sort of writing the rest of the email that's personal to that person or whatever. But it's great to have kind of these structures in place that if you're typing something a lot of times, it's just so much quicker. So I'm going to quickly show you how I do that because it's so easy, I can't even. So in preferences, and like I say, this can be on your Mac or this can be on your iPhone, your iPad, I've just got to go to it. Right, so we go to keyboard, which is down at the bottom. And as you can see, these are, keyboard usually goes to this tab here. You go to the text keyboard. The text tab. Can't even talk. And here we are, all of the things that I have in place that when I type them, they turn into these longer form things. So for instance, let's go back to this text here, the text edit. Let's put in something random. Anyone that wants to join in on this live stream, register at, in fact, emilyislive.com. So I'm going to just, there you go, I've got a bit of text. I'm copying it, so Control C or Apple C, I never get that right. Now we go back to the preferences, just hit the plus button. Now you want to put in what you want to type that will then, in fact, let's put so we want this text to come in. So we're just going to paste it into the with section. And then on the left, the replace, just put in something random, something that you will never type at any time in the rest of your life. So let's see, I was going to put 3 Fs, but actually that's color code. So that's probably not good. Definitely not 3 Xs, because you might be writing something nice to someone. 3 Js. Let's put in 3 Js. Just press enter. There we go. It should be in. Go back to the text edit. And then if we do this now, this is where it doesn't work. 3 Js. And there we go. There it is. It's the simplest thing. But do you know what the best use of this is? The absolute best use for me is putting in my email address. If I put, and I won't, but if I put 2 @signs, like it's in email @signs, my email address comes up. So every form that I have to fill in, you know when you're like, oh my gosh, I have to fill in this email address again. I just do 2 @signs and it what's it called? Perpetuates? No. It auto fills in. So, like I say, this is the kind of sad thing that really makes me happy, but it's things like this that just save so much time, and it just means that you can do more stuff with, like, more fun stuff and less of the boring stuff. So hopefully one of those 3 things will help you out, and yeah, I really hope it does, and I hope someone here is as excited about things like this as I am. So anyway, those are my top 3 of things that I think really do make a difference. So just working out your hotkeys and just setting them up in a logical way so that you can go between programs and they all pretty much do the same thing, so it's not confusing. The next one is the dictation / speech readout. Super easy, and then not easy, useful, and then the text replace is the best thing ever. When I learnt it, I was just like, oh my gosh. But yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. So with that being said, let's go to some questions. I've had a couple of questions. I've had a few questions in, actually. I'm gonna hit 3 questions from before I went live, and then I will come into the room. We can have a chat and see what everyone's up to. I know a lot of people are eating, which is always fun. So some of the questions I had before I started. So let's see. Oh yeah, right. I always put these as mini questions, but this first one, not so many. And in fact, the third one, not so many either, but let's try this. So what website tools did you use to make Drumstem Club? Was it custom built, or did you use WordPress or Wix? So Drumstem Club, it is all my websites, in fact, are all WordPress, and it's just the tool that I used. It's the one that I learned, the one that made most sense. I did try Wix, but it was very early doors. It didn't mix well with Macs. So I didn't continue with Wix. The very first website I ever programmed was just pure HTML using like Fetch and all this sort of stuff. That was rubbish. But yeah, WordPress is great because it has loads of plugins. Now, in saying that, so it's a WordPress site, but there are a lot of plugins involved. So I won't go into it, because I did go into it with someone recently and they were like, oh, that's a lot, because I'll try and remember it really quickly, but it's a mixture of like a profile builder along with something called Easy Digital Downloads, which is how you're able to download it. And yeah, the profile builder means that you can sign in versus just getting a download link. And then there's something else, and I can't remember what it is. I can't remember, but yeah, anyway, it's been a long, arduous process to get Drumstem Club together, but it works, and I'm like, cool, let's just leave it so it doesn't break. Oh, that's the other thing, I use Thrive Architect as well, just to make it look pretty, basically. So yeah, so basically it's WordPress based, and most things you want to do can be done through WordPress, I think. And that's wordpress.org, not wordpress.com. Wordpress.com is very limited. It's great to get started on, but if you really want to open up of what else you can do, wordpress.org is incredible. It's so good and very safe, I found out as well. Like, it's very good. It's very hard to ruin your website, which is great because I mess around a lot, and it's good to know that I have a safety net because, yeah, if you've ever watched one of my lives recording, I spend a lot of time going, undo, because, yeah, I try stuff. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So, right, so I hope that answered your question. Second question is, does technology help or hinder? I think it helps. I think anything that makes you be able to do more things is a good thing, and anything that is able to, like anything accessible that makes people be able to connect better has to be a good thing. I think the only thing you got to worry about is where you put your concentration, because I know that I would easily be able to just be looking left and right at everything that's going on, but I try and focus on what I want to do, what I need to do, and then find the technology that comes in line with that and lets me be able to do either the job or whatever I want to do. I find the technology for it versus looking at the technology and working out what I can do with it. In saying that, I do sometimes do that also. But anyway, I've been looking into NFTs. Anyway, let's move on. So the third and final question that came in before, it's actually two questions, but they're very similar. So one person is saying, hi, I've been watching your content for a while and I just want to say thank you for your hard work. Truly inspiring. First of all, thank you. That's incredibly kind. I'm looking to start a remote recording business and I wanted to know if it is truly profitable. It might be a silly question, but somehow, since it is a new type of business, I wanted to know if I'll be able to sustain myself and hopefully my future family. It's hard work like any business. There are thousands of people that I know personally, probably around the kind of 100 mark, I suppose. In fact, more than that, hundreds mark, that are doing this full time for their living. It doesn't mean that it's easy, but yeah, it's a growing industry. The online recording industry is definitely a growing industry. It already was growing before COVID happened, but once it did, it kind of propelled it because that was the only choice. And now everyone realizes that it's a really viable way to make music. And I feel like we're at the beginning of a really interesting period of time. I might be wrong. It might all change. But right now I'm feeling excited about the future and the growth that's happening and all the people that are coming into this space, which is amazing because it just means that it's going to grow and people are going to push the boundaries and it's just going to transform, and I can't wait to see what it sort of becomes. I hope that kind of answers your question. And then the second person who sort of asked the same thing was, hi, I cannot join the live unfortunately, but allow me to ask the question. Oh, is it the same person? Oh, is a remote recording business profitable nowadays? I'm wondering if us musicians are not being replaced by electronics. Thank you so much. Look, some people are using electronics. There are so many people that are using live musicians still. It might depend on where you're focusing your attention. So pop music, there's a lot of electronics going on. But if you look in the country sort of like area, singer-songwriters, jazz, obviously, it's still live instruments. Like people want humans. And it's not just about the live instrument themselves, like itself. They want the personality that comes with the instrument, if that makes sense. They want the emotion, they want the connection that comes with you playing your instrument on someone's song, if that makes sense. It's, yes, a drum beat can be just something that's programmed and it does the job, but it doesn't give you that, that kind of just feel and emotion and gut and like just all that texture that, some people can probably get it from programming. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of experience. And when someone can get someone in to do that job and do an amazing job of it in a matter of hours, it's always going to be relevant. That's my take on it. Again, I might be completely off point, but that's my feelings on the matter. Right, let's come into the room. Oh my goodness, there's so many people. So, right. Jed has had sweet and sour chicken for dinner, which makes me happy. And I think I said I had pasta and chili, and that was really nice. Nathan is saying good evening. Ali is making a cuppa and getting the bickies out. Very important, can I just say? I want biscuits. Do you know what I've got? I've got kombucha. That's what I have living in my life. And I'd love to drink some, but I realised I was drinking some before I went live. And I thought, well, this is a mistake because it's fizzy, which means I'm probably going to be burping. So I'm really sorry if I'm a bit windy. Raina is saying, first of all, hi, Raina. It's been so long since we've spoken. So Raina says, so catch me on catch me up on things, on the goings on in old Blighty. I mean, what's not going on? I feel like the world is going crazy. My shoulders are killing me. That is what's going on. The weather is lovely today. It's been biblical a couple of days ago. Rain that was sideways. I'm being so English right now talking about the weather. I'm so sorry. Jed says, this is perfect timing. Oh no, I already read that one. Sorry. Who else have we got? So Ali says, hi Nath, I'd make you a cuppa as well, but it'll go cold. And Brandon's saying, it looks amazing, the studio. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, like I said, I'm so proud to be here and that it's done. It's taken 5 months and yeah, I mean, I must say massive props to my husband who like basically headed it all up and was just like, look, let's do this and let's do it properly. And, you know, I'm the kind of person that will be like, oh yeah, you know, it will be fine if it's just this. And, you know, I don't want to cause a fuss. And he's just like, no, we're going to get you what you actually want. And it's going to sound amazing. And he just absolutely, he knows me so well. He basically just knows. And it's just, it's beyond a dream come true. It's more than I ever could have wished for ever. So I'm just so grateful to have it. So Raina says, oh my goodness, look at all that space and light and colour. We have natural light. We have a view. I definitely can't get you round for the view. Can I get you round for the view? Let me see. Again, apologies to the people listening on podcasts. You can't really see, but it's, trust me, the view is spectacular. And there's like horses and stuff that are just in that field there. It's pretty crazy. I'm officially a country bumpkin, basically. That's what I'm saying. Right, who else have we got here? Nathan says, can we have a baffle to paint each? It's not a bad shout, actually. I wonder if you could. You probably could, couldn't you? Maybe some acrylics? Just do like a few murals. That might be quite nice. Yeah, I tried to keep it in like, well, they are neutral colours. I can't help myself. I really can't help myself. It's terrible. I can make a decision, but I like the idea that I can kind of make the space whatever I want, if that makes sense. So I wanted to keep it kind of very warm, but quite bare, if that makes it. That doesn't sound very inspiring, it does it? I wanted the view to be the thing, not really the inside, if that makes sense. But anyway, yeah, Nathan, if you want to come and paint one, please. Phil Duggan is here. Yo, how you doing, Phil? It's been lovely chatting to you recently, and it sounds like there's been all sorts going on with you, which is yeah, it's great. It's good. I think any change is good. Change is good. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Graham Wilmot says, wow, look at all the space. I know. I could do a pirouette, but I'd probably fall into my drums and nobody wants that. But I have room to do like yoga moves and stretches and stuff, which is pretty awesome. And Graham Wilmot is saying that he wants to also paint a baffle. We'll have to get more baffles, I think. So Mikiko says it's midnight in Japan. Oh yes, I was saying it must be really late or early, but yeah, I guess it's late, so that makes sense. I hope all is well in Japan. I miss Japan. I really want to come back there soon. Fernando says, can you play some drums today just to hear how the studio sounds? Do you know what? Again, why did I not think of this? It will overload the camera mic, or this mic I should say, so I won't, but I have not set up for this at all. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to send out an email with the stems that in fact, shall I do that? Yeah, okay. It's the stems, and then I'll send a separate link which just is like a mix down of the kit, so you can just hear it as it is. Yeah, because it will sound awful and it will be the biggest anticlimax ever. So in fact, what should I do? How should I do this? Okay, if you're listening back, go to emilyislive.com/EmilyDrums2. And there'll be a download there. But if you're in the live right now, then I will send out an email after this, so you'll have a link. So you don't need to remember the link. It's just for anyone listening back that wants to hear the room, right? emilyislive.com/EmilyDrums2. I need to remember that now. That's the number 2, not the word 2, because there's so many 2s, it's crazy. Ali says, it's gorgeous. I know, I love it so much. Hooked on Classic says, I haven't heard you play for so long. I know. I'm sorry, it has been 5 months since I've been able to record, which just feels like forever. Graham says, interesting, there's all that glass to reflect things. Love it. I know, it was kind of... I'm sure most people know it's kind of sacrilege to have glass in a studio, but can I say I love it? I love it. It's acoustically treated, so it does sound great, but it's I love having a bit of reflection compared to the last room. It's just a real joy, to be honest, just to be able to have that kind of liveness, but not too much, but just a little bit. And Graham, you will hear it before most will, actually, so on your music. Can't wait. Makiko says, you have natural light. I know, Makiko. This is what I always say, musicians, we spend our lives in windowless rooms, so the fact that I was able to have natural light, I was like, I need to have this. If this can happen, I mean... It's just everything. It really is. I've done enough windowless rooms in my time. I am ready for some natural light. I'm going to stop looking like a vampire. Kevin says, I'm not saying you should have a bit of a play, but you should totally have a bit of a play so we can hear it. I know. Why did I not think of this? This is my brain. It's full of like cotton wool. I've just basically spent a week just getting it together. I'd forgotten how long it takes to set up a studio, because I think I asked a question on Instagram. I was like, should I live stream setting up? And people were like, yeah, you should, And then I started thinking about it, because not only was I setting up a new studio, I had to find everything because we'd moved house. So I didn't know where anything was. And I was like, you know what? This is just not going to be a great live stream. It's going to be a lot of me walking out of the room for half an hour, finding stuff and then coming back, plugging something in and then leaving again. So I was like, I won't do that. And yeah, it did take about 5 days to set it all up. And even then, it's not actually done. There's some more kit that's coming that... Anyway, so yeah, sorry that I didn't live stream that, but yeah, I should have thought about that as well. Oh well, things aren't perfect, that's okay. Ali says, yes, you've got it right. You're one of the few who pronounce it correctly. I actually pronounced the name right. I'm not going to pronounce your surname again, Ali, in case I pronounce it differently and then I totally mess it up and I lose all faith. But I'm glad. That's awesome. Raina says, goodness, I've missed your energy and positivity. You mean my craziness? Thank you. I've missed you too. Nathan says, haha, Emily, Dolan, Davies, your energy is like at 200% today, haha. You're not wrong, and I can tell you this for a fact. Tomorrow is going to be a major low and crash and burn, but you only get a new studio once, so I'm giving you everything I've got. Hooked on Classic says, yes, Emily's energy flowed when I was working on my car. Oh, that's really nice. I want one. What, a studio? For your cars? That might be fun. Raina says, what? You speak fast? Little bit. Sometimes I must calm and breathe and, oh, who cares? I'm excited. Graham says, good to know there is a dedicated cat button on here. No need to add one of those onto my keyboard. Yeah, you wouldn't believe how long it took me, like, searching for that cat. Sorry again, if you're listening back, it's this.
He's not the Messiah, he's a very naughty boy.
Yeah, I also can never help a Monty Python reference. Maisel is here. Hola. Hello from Brazil. Hello. How are you, Maisel? It's lovely to have you here. This is awesome. Thank you, Maisel. Welcome. Welcome to the new studio. Hooked on Classic says, that's randomly odd. Lol. Yeah, welcome to my brain. Nathan says, haha, I have text replace set up on my phone. It changes ETA to I'll be there in around. Haha, but I never went this far with it. That's a good one. I like that ETA one. That's a really good one. But yeah, you know me, I'm a woman of extremes. So I have shortcuts for all of my web addresses, all of my email addresses. I have it for my home address. I have it for the Deliveroo or Uber Eats. Well, no, not Uber Eats. We don't have it here. Just Eat, that basically gives a description of our house, and the shortcut is Deliveroo, and it just, because it's kind of difficult to find our house. So yeah, it's got that. What else have I got? So I'm constantly adding. And like I say, if I'm starting a round of emails and I'm generally saying, I'm so sorry for getting back to you late, which is often what I'm saying, I will start off by just working out what I want to say in my first line or two in an email. And then I will do the text replace so that for that session, I can just go, hey, right, and now we actually begin the email. Once I apologise, basically, hi, sorry, very English again. Hello, I'm very sorry. And here's our email. Right, let's talk. So it's I love it so much. And like I say, I'm a person of extreme. Nathan says, next question, how do you remember all those shortcuts? I just use them a lot. Even down to like hashtags on social media posts, really useful. So if I have a picture of the studio, for instance, I put in hashtag, I think it's record, just REC, and then 20 hashtags will populate. I think that's the word I was looking for, populate my text, and it just makes it super easy. Same with captions. I have a bunch of saved captions for like Drum Stem Club, for instance. I have a bunch of saved ones for that. Just so much stuff, all sorts. Maysel says, good question. Oh, that's good. So my brain is terrible. It forgets so many things, but there's some really random things that it remembers, and it does remember most of the shortcuts. I actually went through them before I went live, and I'd forgotten about, I don't know, probably 30% of them. Oh yeah, I forgot that I had those. So really useful. Excuse me. Phil Duggan says, does that text replace work when replying to social messages / scheduling posts in something like Buffer or Hootsuite? Yes. There's very few things that it won't populate. And it's usually just like forms. And it's most are fine, but occasionally, annoyingly, it doesn't. But yeah, Buffer, Hootsuite, I use it with all of those. Works fine, works an absolute treat, but it just saves so much time and effort, and just, I'm all about it, especially if it's just things that you're saying over and over and over again, and that doesn't give it any less value what you're saying, but it just makes you be able to have more energy to say the thing you actually want to say, if that makes sense. So Phil Duggan says populate. Yes, that's the word. Ali says so easy. I know, it's crazy easy, but it will change your life. I'm so glad that people are like actually excited about this text replace thing, because I thought it was just me being a weirdo, which I am. I know, it's fine. Nathan says perpulates. Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. Maya is here. Hello, Maya. Oh wow, a new place. Yes. How are you, Maya? Are you well? I feel like you haven't been on one of these in a long time, but it's lovely to see you. And yes, isn't it beautiful? I am made up. I am like a kid at Christmas. I am all the things. I am all the great things. I'm not great, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. Hooked on Classic says, I just remembered I mailed you ages ago, but I didn't realise you were so busy with the house and the studio. Oh yes, yes, we spoke, didn't we? I did reply, didn't I? I get really freaked out that I forget. So I know I am around about 2 weeks behind on emails. I'm sorry if you're expecting one back from me right now. I will get around to it. I always do. Well, I hope I do. Simone, tell me if I didn't get back to you, because now I'm freaked out. Ali says populates. Oh, and my thing keeps jumping. So Nathan says hashtag 8080 perpulates. Oh, is that a hex? Is it hex? Hex colour? I feel like that's the wrong word as well. I know hex colour is one of them, but I think it's the other one. Anyway, Brandon says, no questions from me today. I didn't understand any of the tech stuff. Not my bag of trucks at all, sorry. Now I know how people feel when they geek out, when I geek out on drum build details. Brandon, first of all, thank you for saying that, because that makes me so happy, and thank you for sticking around. I'm so glad that I'm not like, I'm just so glad Thank you for that comment. That comment means everything to me, and I can't even really explain why. But yes, I appreciate that you've stuck around and that this is not your bag at all. So drum builds, yes, I mean drum builds are good, but as you know, I'm terrible with the details of like drums. I know what I like to a degree, but we've spoken about this before anyway. Get me onto like bearing edges and I start glazing over because I don't really know. And like Brandon, you asked me, oh, so what type of snare wires do you want? I'm like, I have no idea. Like, I just trust your judgment because I literally don't know. I know if I like the sound of something and that's it. Sometimes I know what materials I like also, but yeah, bearing edges is like, that's that's the point of, blindness, I suppose. Nathan says, oh no, not NFTs. Well, you are very original. Yeah, so if anyone, okay, welcome to my explanation of NFTs. Nathan, you can laugh at me for this. An NFT is a non-fungible token. It's basically something that exists and there's only one of it and that's it. You can't be replicated. It's kind of like, I was trying to explain this to my parents, well, mainly to my dad actually. It's kind of like, you know when someone records a song, say, it's like an NFT, like buying an NFT of that song would be like buying the masters of that song. So it doesn't mean that people can't listen to it or replicate it or whatever, but you own the original kind of thing. Anyway, these are NFTs. They're kind of like what Bitcoin is and stuff like that. It's all down that kind of route, basically. But I was thinking about making an NFT for you guys, basically, like a coin, I don't know what it would be, like an Emily Drums coin. And with that means that you come in and we have these fun times and something to do with Drum Stem Club. I don't really know what it looks like yet, but it's percolating. Something's percolating, and whether I actually go ahead with it, I don't know, but it's interesting. It's an interesting idea. I didn't explain it very well, but yeah, anyway, we'll see. Nathan says, and unique, haha, yeah, well, I think that's the idea, but I'm not quite sure. And then I start thinking, well, if I'm going to do something like that, why not just do like a Patreon? Because that's a lot easier and it's all set up and all the infrastructure set up. Anyway, for now, we're here. This is us. That's the main thing. Hooked on Classic says, like analog versus digital. Oh, what's analog? Is it the tech stuff that Brandon was talking about? Probably. Joe Perkins is here. Hello, Joe. Weirdly, I was thinking about you today. I was thinking about the song that we recorded together, Santa's Coming. And I don't know why I was thinking about it, but I was thinking about it. How are you, Joe? How are things? So Joe's saying, sorry I'm late. When's the new studio open for business? It's officially open. I mean, okay, it's not technically, I mean, it is open. It exists. New clients are in from the 1st of November. So, hey, if you want to get in touch. Graham's next on the list, though. I need to get back to Graham first, and then Joe, we can talk. Again, behind on emails. This is my life. Phil Duggan says, hey, sounds like a keeper. Oh, is this Tone? Yeah, he really is. He's just the best. He's the best teammate you could ever wish for in life. He's just so cool. Mooncat Drum says, group visits to the new studio. We'll have to get a bus. We'll have to get a big coach, like a Golden Boy coach or whatever. Wow, the sunset looks amazing right now. Yes, come to the studio. No, I need to do, the thing is, I want to do a proper video showing it off, but in case you hadn't noticed, I'm not a filmmaker, so I'm kind of like, I did a very quick one yesterday on Instagram if anyone wants to see it. Anyone wants to see it, if you go at it's Emily Dolan Davies, then you can see that there. But yeah, I want it to look great, but I don't have the skill set, so I need to work out how I'm going to do that. I'll work it out at some point, or just gradually you'll see it all, basically. Maisel says, we should make a coffee party in front of his room. What, in front? What? We should make a coffee party in front of his room. Oh, when's the studio opening party? Ali's saying, yeah, again, these are all things that I should be thinking about, and I just haven't. I think I was so excited to get in. I just wanted things up and running, especially like this. I haven't done a live stream for 3 weeks, which is not fair because I came back saying that I was going to be back doing live streams, and then I went away for a couple of weeks. So yeah, I kind of just wanted to get this done and in and rolling again, and then we can go from there. So yeah, watch this space. So Joanne Mason Troll is here. Hello, how are you, Joanne? I feel like you're quite a new name to me, and I apologise if I've got that wrong. So Joanne says, thank you for all you do to help educate us drummers around the world, especially us females. Love you. Joanne, thank you. Well, that means everything. Oh, you're making me flush. Thank you, Joanne. Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of rattling on here, being a bit of a weirdo, but I'm really glad that I can help in any way I can. And, you know, always reach out. If you've got any questions, always reach out. And yeah, I'm here. I'll be here for the next 6 months, not leaving this room, and being very happy about it. Jim Fox says, let us know the newly released stems names recorded in the new room. Okay, so do people know how I name my stems, by the way? Because if you don't, I'm going to tell you, even if you do, sorry. I need to find it now. Drum Stem Club. This is great viewing. So this new stem pack is called Matutine at 103. That's 103 BPM, beats per minute. So yeah, Matutine. So the way that I basically write random words into a Scrabble solver, and then I let it make up words for me. Matutine, I thought sounded like something from Star Wars, like a neighbouring planet of Tatooine. What it actually means is morning, and I've been up so early because I'm so excited every morning. I thought it was such an apt name that's what it's going to be called. So Matutine. I'm probably murdering it. It's probably not even how you say it, but that's how I choose to say it. Matutine. So like I say, I will email out everyone that's on the Emily is Live mailing list. I will email out these new stems. You will be the first people to hear them, just for being here, basically. So if you're not on that list, get on there right now if you're live with me. If you're not live with me, then go to emilyslive.com/EmilyDrums2, the number 2, not the word or any of the words, and I'll put a download there for you so that you can you can hear them too. Right, Matt Black is here. Hello, Matt Black. Long time no see. He says, no tough questions, just glad to see you. Thank you, Matt Black. I appreciate it, because as you can hear, my brain is imploding as it is. Matt Black is a wonderful human who always asks me really difficult questions, and then I give him very diplomatic answers, and then gets really upset with me that I'm giving such diplomatic answers, which always cracks me up. Charlotte Vivi is back. Hello, Charlotte Vivi. I think you're on a break. So Charlotte is like the busiest person ever. Hooked on Classics says, I need the keyboard thing. I haven't heard back. No, I was quite worried. I apologise. Simone, can you do me a favour? Can you find the email that you sent me and just resend it? Because I'm clearly being an idiot, because it sounds like you've emailed me before 2 weeks ago, which means somehow I've missed it, and I apologise, so please send it again, and I will get back to you. I'm so sorry about that. Maysel says, tell us about the colour of your panels on the wall. Yeah, so I tell you what it was. Okay, I'm not a girly girl. This is going to be one of the most girly girl things I've ever said and probably will ever say. I kind of wanted it. I wanted the panels to kind of match the drums and the cymbals. So if you're listening back, I have a Champagne Sparkle Ludwig kit behind me, vintage, it's very lovely. And obviously we all know what colour cymbals are. So that's kind of what the colour of the panels are, which are like acoustic treatment. So that's why this room sounds brilliant. It's partly because of the panels on the wall. So yeah, that's the reason I went for those colours. And yes, Phil Duggan says, NFTs for the win. They're digital assets that you have the ownership of. Yes, that's a better way of describing what NFTs were. Much better than my way. Maysel says NFTs is like Moralisa. Oh, I don't know. Is Oh, NFTs is like Morizilla. Jeff Duggan says, great for musicians. If you made an NFT album, you'd sell it up front, then you issue a smart contract within the sale that guarantees you a sell-on fee moving forward with every future sale. Yes, sorry, I forgot about this little nugget of information. So that's it. Every time. So say you sell an NFT. I can't believe we're talking about this when my knowledge is so limited. But say I sold. Okay, let's talk about Drum Stem Club. Let's say I sold an NFT and it was a Drum Stem Club pack, right? Let's say I sold it for 10 quid, right? There's only one of it. If you buy it, you own it, and that's it. And no one else can own it. You have it. Say you bought it for £10 off me, and then you sold it 6 months later for £100. Every time it gets sold on, there's a percentage that I would get, like a royalty, I suppose. And so if you sold it, say it was 10%, so I sold you 10%. Oh, my camera is sick of me, clearly. I'm so glad I set up this backup one. Anyway, so the camera is sick of hearing about NFTs. But so if I then sold it on if you sold it on for 100 quid, say it was a 10% royalty, I would get £10, and that would carry on every time it was sold on. So it's like a royalty payment, which again kind of helps musicians, and it's just an interesting concept. It's very early days, and as you can tell, I don't know enough about it, but it's interesting. I'm interested, so we'll see. And Maya says, sounds like you need a personal assistant nowadays. You're not wrong, Maya. I'm not going to lie, but I tell you what it is, right? My whole thing with like personal assistants and things like that is I would want them to be like me, if that makes sense. Like just very like positive and all that sort of stuff. And yeah. And I don't know where you look for people like that, to be honest. Obviously, I'm surrounded by lovely people like you guys, but none of you want to be my personal assistant, I don't think. Phil Duggan says, happy to help with editing a video for the studio. Just let me know. I may well let you know, Phil. Thank you. That's such a kind thing to offer. Maysel says, in front of this room. Oh, coffee in front of this room. Yes, we should really have coffee. I need to get chairs. I think I'm going to get a chair over there, but I was just going to get like an armchair type thing. Nathan says, how do you control the resells, Phil Duggan? Oh, it's built into the code. It's all part of the Ethereum blockchain, you see. And that makes it decentralized. No, that's not the right. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say, I hope. So it all happens automatically. It's really interesting. Nathan says, or is it easy because owned by the community? Yeah, it's decentralized. Yes, like Bitcoin and all that sort of stuff. I think my brain just melted. My brain is constantly in a state of melting, so I understand, Nathan. I'm with you. Hooked on Classics said, what was the first thing you played in the studio? Oh, good question. What was the first thing I played in the studio? I tell you what I think it was, because I can't actually remember, and I almost regret not actually making a bit more of a plan about it. But I don't know if anyone else is the same. Does everyone else have like what I call the sound check beat? That no matter what sound check you're doing, you play the same thing or a version of the same thing. So I have that. I have like a sound check beat, and it just means that I play everything, and it's kind of, I'm comfortable. So I think I played something like that because I wanted to make sure everything, because I was recording, so I wanted to make sure everything was showing up, and yeah. So I think I played my sound check beat. Excuse me. Sorry, I just burped. Graham says, that early in the morning, I'm guessing it's going to be about 50 BPM. Yeah, no, 103 BPM. I'd had a coffee. Phil says to Nathan, so you would sell the NFT through a marketplace like OpenSea? Yes. I love that I'm saying yes. Like, I mean, Phil clearly knows a lot about this. They handle all the smart contracts where the resale clause is embedded. Cool. This is, again, NFTs. It's a new world. Maysel says, oh my God, I don't know how to type anything anymore. All wrong. Maysel, don't worry. I feel like I'm not able to speak anymore. I feel like my camera just decided to pack up. I feel like it's all good. We're all friends here. We all love you. It's all cool. Hooked on Classic says, email sent. Thank you, Simone. Again, apologies for not seeing that. Or, yeah, I'm really sorry, but I will endeavour to reply. In fact, I'm going to pin it. In fact, because I have a shortcut on my thing that pins emails. I'm so sad. Raina says, anybody else lose the video? Yep, sorry, my fault. Did we change? Yeah, we changed audio as well. I'm really sorry about that. And Nathan says, ooh, darkness. Yeah, sorry about that. Graham says, need to put another 50p in the camera meter. Do you know what? I love this camera when it works, but it really does not enjoy, I don't know, being used, even when it's plugged in right now, obviously, and it's meant to just stay on, doesn't stay on, so it's my fault. I've done something, or I've not done something, or there's some setting that's wrong. It's fine. Graham says, somewhere I have a script for an old talk I did on blockchain cryptography for beginners. Well, that sounds interesting, Graham. This is amazing. I didn't realise we had so many, like, cryptography, NFT type knowledgeable people. This is exciting. I know nothing really, but you guys clearly do, so that's awesome. Maysel says, would you record some metal for us someday? Maysel, no. I just can't, because it's just, I'm just not very good at it. I haven't properly played heavy metal music for 15 years, I suppose, since I was probably at 17 or 18. And yeah, nobody wants to hear me try and do double kick stuff. Oh no, I won't. I'm sorry. Maisel, I swear you do like heavy metal stuff, so you can do all that stuff. I will not. I will refrain this time. That wasn't the word I was looking for, but as you can tell, my brain is not quite there today. Graham says, the power of coffee. Yes, I think I need one now. Nathan says, yes, I have the same beat that I use for sound check that uses each of the toms once in it. See, everyone has a sound check beat. It's just the best thing ever, and you feel comfortable and it centers you, and then your sound person is also really happy because you've played all the drums. So everyone's happy. It's perfect. Ali says, random question. When you draw out your song charts, do you upload them as photos to your iPad, or do you use a particular program to chart? Well, Ali, I happen to have... Oh! I happen to have my iPad that's going to smash me in the head right here. So I have a program. I used to write it on paper and just take the paper into the session. But now I use this program called Good Notes. And I tell you what, I will find a chart of Graham's since he is here, if I can, if it wants to actually work for me. I'm really sorry for this. No, okay, right, hold on. Let's look for, where's my work? EmilyDrums.com, clients, and where is the search? There it is. Graham Wilmot. Since he's in the room, this is one of Graham Wilmot's charts. Okay, hold on, I need to check that you can actually see this. Oh gosh, it's all going wrong. No, it's too bright. It's too bright. No. How's that? Oh, there you go. You can see it. See, there you go. Carry her home. And that is a chart that I've just written straight onto the iPad. It's Good Notes, Apple Pencil, literally changed my life. I find it sad when I say things like that change my life. But they have, and it makes my workflow really a lot quicker, and it means that I can search through charts exactly like that if I need to find something that I've done before or need to edit or whatever it is. It's just perfect. So Maysel says, I see 60 hertz in that mic inside the bass drum. Yes, that is... There we go. That is my Solomon sub mic, and it sounds awesome. It sounds massive. Jed says, lol, I know nothing too. I'm just a truck driver. Lol, I'm no good with technology. Well, it's all good, Jed. We're all friends here. You don't need to be good at anything to be here. You can just be good at being yourself. And that is enough for us. Jed, we love you. David Utz is here. Hello, David. If I'd have known, I would have searched for one of your charts. Great to see the new studio. Enjoyed watching the progress of the build. Besides the light, what are you most happy about now you sit in it? Yeah, I mean, the light and the view is pretty spectacular, but I don't... There's so many things, David. There's so many things. It's obviously the sound, amazing. The mics picking up the kit just sound brilliant. There's a real ease here and there's a real peace, which I love. Also, kitchen. That's always good, as you all know. Food lover. I have a microwave and a rice maker, hilariously. Why do I have a rice maker? Well, why not? And a coffee machine and a fridge and a toilet. And my old studio didn't have a toilet or a kitchen, obviously, and things like that just make my life a lot easier, which, you know, life shouldn't be easy, but it's just, I'm really, yeah, it's amazing. There's so many things. There's so many things. I just feel very lucky. Very, 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 very unbelievably lucky. Brandon says, that's pretty cool that you got the Darkness to do a cameo for you on your first live video in the new studio. Oh! The camera going off. I get you now. I was like, oh my gosh, what? Did I miss something? Did I do an accidental joke? No, I didn't. Brandon's just way quicker than I am. Hooked on Classic says, I must admit I have become a technophobe, lol. There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, because there's a lot of power in leaning into that. Sort of like really being into like analog stuff. There is nothing wrong with that. So if that's your vibe, go for it. Like, absolutely go for it. I really, I don't know, I enjoy the things that technology afford people. And yeah, it just makes things more accessible for more people, which is always going to be a winner for me. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Raina says, I remember you did a stream doing charts of various songs. Brilliant stuff. Yeah, that's still on YouTube. If anyone wants to watch me charting random songs, you can look on my YouTube channel. Just look up Emily Dolan Davies charting. There's two videos. There's one that I'm charting stuff in real time, and then there's one where I'm sort of explaining it a little bit more. But yeah, quite a few people have found that useful. So I'm really glad you enjoyed it too, Raina. That's awesome. David Frontman, David Lemids is here. Hello, David Lemids. How are you? Ali says, thanks, got it. Okay, awesome. And David is here with his ladybird. Maisel says, studio tour, studio tour, studio tour. I will endeavour to do a proper studio tour at some point. I promise. The other thing is, doesn't really translate very well to the people listening back. I was also very aware of that. Graham says, has been so lovely to see how much energy and happiness this studio is bringing you. All the energy and all the happiness, but I am going to crash soon. Ali says, David Frontman, hello, hello. Hooked on Classic says, so pleased you have everything to hand now. It's awesome. Yeah, I like I said, I feel so lucky. It's unbelievable. And Phil Duggan says, haha, proper Geordie coming out now. There's nothing wrong with that. Is that Geordie? I didn't know. Well, I think we spoke about this, Phil, the fact that my mum's mum was Geordie. I never met her, but I love the fact that I have some Geordie in me. It's just, yeah, I love it. The Geordie way is just beautiful. Nathan says, I had to dip in on a rock band last weekend. Your charting tips came in super handy, thank you. Thanks, Nathan. That really means a lot. Thank you. That's awesome. Jed says, thanks for your kind words. I'm so made up for you with you in your studio. Thank you, Jed. May you have many hours of fun in there entertaining us. I hope so too. And on that note, I guess I'm going to love you and leave you. If anyone wants to be a part of this madness, come and sign up at emilyislive.com. And if you have any questions at all as well, if you can't join us live, you can ask questions at emilyislive.com. I'm going to go and have a lie down because I'm clearly losing the power of speech. But it's been lovely seeing you guys. I will be back next week. It will not be a long break like last time. I'll be back next week with another subject. Hopefully I will have calmed down by then, but probably not. Let's face it, it is me after all. But yes, anyway, lovely, lovely, lovely to see you all. And I'm going to go and have a lie down. All right, lots of love, you guys. I will speak to you. Look, I'm hitting my thing again now. So I'll speak to you soon. See you later. See you guys later. Bye.